All right, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. We are back with another live stream of Final Fantasy 16. Super excited for this. Let's hope we can make some decent progress today. Yesterday was kind of dull compared to the other streams. Yesterday was probably one of the duller moments. I mean, we did see some cool stuff in terms of cutscenes, and if I'm not mistaken, I think yesterday's stream is when we learned how to use a freight. Um, Though I don't think we've had the opportunity to use it in a fight. I don't believe it'd be kind of wild if you can turn into a freight whenever you want it. Something tells me it's probably going to be reserved for special cases, but at the very least, we have some control over it now, or at least Clive does. So let's just get started with this. It seems that in yesterday's stream we left off. I think we did all the side quests that were available to us. And we also, yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything new at any of these markers or icons, whatever. So I guess let's just continue with the main scenario. Yeah, I think we had that one side quest
Welcome back,
with this
Sid.
boat dude over here. Actually, where is this? Must be on the world map. Martha's Rest. Find the right. I forget. So I think somebody went missing, if I'm not mistaken, and they sent curse breakers out to go find them, and now we have to go save all of them, pretty much.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
Oh, Jill's with us. She wasn't with us at the hideaway.
Best off staying where we are for now.
I guess she's busy doing her own stuff when we're there.
Let's get you to
Same thing with Torgal.
shall we?
A lot of
Sid?
people got their curse,
You said you'd be
or
coming.
their
I trust you don't
their
mind.
brand
Also
taken
thought
out.
you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
You, could say that, yes. They're saying the Imperials ascended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
Any idea where?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise Bay.
To the Abbey sheltering Martha's bearers.
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them. You take care of the people here.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about a culling. I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good. Be careful out there, Sid.
You do the same.
It's so weird that everybody calls me Sid. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it makes some sense. It's like, okay, you know, let's just call it whatever Sid was doing the resistance. I don't know if you want to call it that, but I'm going to call it the resistance. And it looks like maybe he had people from all over the world that knew about it and helped
Cole is right.
indirectly or something.
That was no tavern
They want to
brawl.
keep this thing
It was a
going.
message.
But a culling. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
I mean, and the only way that works is that if, these people have just not met Sid before, because it doesn't make sense for anybody who's met the original Sid. Like, they're gonna be like, "No, you're not Sid. Who the hell are you?" Maybe, or maybe they just know we're the new Sid, but then why take over his name to begin with? I just don't understand it. It makes no sense. Can we just take over the resistance organization as Clive? Or does Clive just not want to be, I don't know, since he's a Rossfield, he doesn't want to be bound out, I guess? I don't know.
Very well.
Maybe we'll find out later. I don't know.
Oi, look sharp!
But for now, let's see. Well, there's no teleporting there, so let's keep going. Maybe we'll have some fun fights on the way. I still think as far as the limit break goes, I think we can only just do some priming. Or, semi-priming. Be kind of wild if it just turned into a freed out here. And there's items all over the place, but they just keep coming back. It's not like you pick up the items and they disappear.
Up ahead.
And it's usually just crafting material, unless it's in a chest.
Martha, are you hurt?
Oh, we found her.
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do something. Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
The Black Shields.
The bastards caught wind. The abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds, poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to get away.
Then they may still be alive. Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other curse breakers.
I think so. Thank you, Clive.
I don't know what she was waiting for. She was just chilling there. I don't even know if that's her blood.
Shields. Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever been one Order of Shields in Rosaria, and they fought to defend all her citizens.
Seems a step too far. Even for the Empire.
Now let's take these guys out. Oh, easier than just running away. Oh, couldn't even finish them. Yeah, everything's pretty weak in this area now. You really don't have to worry about any of these people. Can't believe it. 48 experience, though. That's not that bad. And 32 ability points. Not bad for something that easy, to be honest. Oh, there goes that guy. And what's nice, I wonder if we're just gonna get super OP, like, because now we have 6 abilities that we can use. Because we can assign. I mean, I guess everybody has
Are we
3, I
too
suppose.
late?
There might still be someone inside.
This one is not really a damage dealer. So I mean, technically we do have 9 abilities. I guess some of them do damage, like Ramu's, 3rd ability that does some damage, or at the very least it marks them with the lightning, so we can do extra damage. Yeah, but now we got 6 abilities with different cooldowns. They don't even share a cooldown. So we can just spam, go from one to the other to the other. Things got to be really strong to keep up with us, I suppose. Yo, noob, welcome to the stream. How you been? Everything same as yesterday? Couldn't even make it in time.
Damn it.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offense.
Oh, the Black Shields.
And for their crimes shall they be punished. Such is the law.
How long will they survive? 10 seconds?
Dwell in darkness
20 seconds?
that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
Clive,
This won't take long.
That middle dude seems kind of deadly, though. And let's get a fire ability. That should take out most of them. And let's take this guy out while the other ones are distracted. I guess this might take more than 20 seconds. They have more HP than I thought. But it's going pretty quickly. Hey, maybe that was about 20 seconds. I kind of wish that this game had something similar to what you see in Final Fantasy 13. We had like a report after the battle. You'd get like graded on how you did, and you'd have like a time limit. I think you'd also get a bonus if you did better than you know other fights. It'd be nice if they added that.
Is that all of them?
Although,
I think so.
I mean, based off the Final Fantasy 7 remake, I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be like a hard mode, especially after we're done with this fight. Or, I mean, after we're done with the game, it's probably going to unlock. Now, we just got another 10 points in some other category that they just haven't bothered to explain. Or I just missed it. I don't even know what it is.
I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive.
Is that something now we can find out about? Attributes, gear, abilities. Now we got a lot of ability points. I didn't even realize we have that much. But we still need 2,300 for Ramuh's ability. Yeah, I don't see anything about those, whatever those points were. Maybe I'm just missing them. I'm sure we'll find out eventually.
Found her.
The abbot.
The priest, pretty much.
The bearers died protecting him, calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
This guy doesn't look like he's going to be breathing
My
for
friends
that much
and
longer.
Martha, we're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true.
Yeah, only the ones that are here, or that were here, are dead. Not all the other ones.
The Black Shields will return. The Cullings will continue. Rosaria will never be saved unless we save her. Tell Matt to beg Sid's aid and tell her this wasn't her fault.
Oh,
I shall.
you are talking to Sid.
Sid! Where are you? Sid!
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive.
Not anymore.
He's gone.
Stayed alive to say those few words.
We've laid the abbot to rest. But the bearers... they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Radix Jump. The currents there are swift. If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
Guess we're gonna go scatter some ashes. Oh, so now I did mention that we it seems that a lot of people in the hideaway got their brand taken out, right? But if you look at, I mean, it's kind of hard to see from Clive. Maybe you can pay attention in a cutscene. You could, like, I mean, the brand is like still there, but it's like now, like it's a scar, but it's still in the shape of the brand. So it's just like, people are really not gonna know that you were a branded. It looks just like the brand. At least it's got the same shape. Maybe it's missing its intricate design. I suppose it's better than keeping it on, though. Oh man, did I use a potion by accident? Okay, good. Thankfully, the game's smart enough not to use my potions when I'm at full health. Yeah, that has been a problem sometimes. And the the nature of items where you can only have 4 potions and 3 high potions on you. Making a mistake thinking you're on a different menu and wasting a potion does kind of hurt. Because like you're in the middle of a fight, you're not really paying attention. You think you're on the Torgal menu, but you're on the potions menu, and you just hit a button. Maybe like a heal button from Torgal. Or anything, sick, or anything like that. Arima. Classic Final Fantasy enemy, but why is... We didn't start a hunt. Notorious marks. Every now and then, Clive may encounter creatures larger, faster, and more ferocious than most. While flight is always an option, defeating the notorious marks can earn him not only renown, but also rare materials that may be used to craft new gear or upgrade existing items. Okay, so something like this is...
What am I saying? Of course it has.
This is like something that would probably consume a lot of time. If there's like a lot of hunts. Is that death? I hope not, I'm the only one here.
Too slow.
Of course she's not with me too, it's only me and Torgal. Okay, let's do this. This guy's definitely no joke. Got a lot of HP. I wonder if they put the marks at your current level and you'll find them. What are the chances this guy has the same level we do? Alright, I think that's pretty much most of our damage. And I guess we can do this. That'll do some decent damage. Maybe I should save that. That's pretty good for breaking enemies' wills.
Give me thunder!
What is that ability that he's using? Okay, quite a bit of damage.
Help me, boy.
And this guy loves disappearing. I don't remember this guy being able to disappear like that. Okay, perfect. Oh, not perfect. Damn it, I hate this guy. I do not like that ability. Uh-oh. That was a close one. I do not like that lightning ability. Or the one that's kind of like you mark your enemy. Actually, I wonder what that does, to be honest. Maybe I'm just like not using it correctly, but I really don't like it. It just gets in my way. And, I mean, maybe it slows down time, but damn, it doesn't slow it down enough. Is this a boss? No, I don't think so. I think it's just considered a special enemy that you might, find out in the... I mean, I guess it does say boss, doesn't it? I feel like I've seen that, a couple times, but I wouldn't consider him a boss. At least not a main boss. It's just like a tough enemy that you might find out in the wild. I mean, Final Fantasy is like notorious for this. A lot of their games have like super bosses and whatnot.
Enough.
This I would consider, yeah, it's a mark. Just consider what Final Fantasy has done in the past is they'll have like a board that you can interact with. That'll be called the Hunt
Didn't see
board,
that coming.
where people will, just NPCs will like say, "Oh, this monster's giving us trouble, and nobody else can kill it. I'll put a bounty on this monster." And then you can go to the board, and then you can, accept these hunt missions, and
That must be the bridge.
they're kind of like side quests, but the objective is always to kill an enemy. And as you saw, we got a ton of money for that, 6,000 gold or gil, I guess, and some decent experience and ability points. So it's nice that we just ran into him. That is somewhat strange. I'm not used to that. Usually when it comes to these hunts, I am used to, accepting the hunt and then going to go do it. Maybe they set this up a little differently. I suppose that was called a mark, not a hunt. The reason it's confusing is like, how does Clive know that that's an enemy that's been marked? Is he just like in the know? I mean, we don't know. Maybe he does. They never explained it to us. Except for that little piece of information that showed up before the fight.
So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden,
But that's about it.
and bear it out to sea.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so. What of the Imperials?
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. We should go back.
A fire was
Cole
made.
is worried about
Does
Martha.
that mean we set them on fire?
All right.
And, that enemy we just killed is a very... Usually in other Final Fantasy games, he is just like a normal enemy. Sometimes he can be a tough enemy, right? I've seen, I think in Final Fantasy X, there's like a version of that enemy that's pretty tough. But there's also, generally, those are just like trash mobs. So I imagine that mark was just one of the easier ones. Hunts and like rare enemies and stuff like that, I imagine they can get pretty difficult. And I mean, even if it seemed like we struggled a little bit, we were by ourselves on that fight. Jill wasn't even with us during that fight. So that was an easy mark. I'm sure we'll find tougher ones in the future, with hopefully more classic enemies from the Final Fantasy series. Let's see, return to Martha's Rest, perform casting, and return. Wait, did I do the casting? Hopefully I did. Why are they both there like that? I guess that's the overarching quest. Kind of weird that it's split up like that. But it doesn't matter.
No one survived then.
Well, you
I'm
did.
sorry. Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their remains. That was good of you. But it should have been me. This was all my fault.
How? You couldn't have known.
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumours started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages in the dead of night to slit the throats of sleeping bearers. But I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to a fugitive bearer.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. What these Black Shields are doing is unthinkable. Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten my people, they're in for a rude awakening.
Well, they're all dead now.
Before I forget, a Stolas from Otto landed just before you arrived. He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young curse breakers.
Well, let's hope she's right. I don't want to come back here and find them all dead. That's what happened with Eastpool. And like Lady Hannah. Oh, what's this? Why is this a plus? The White Winged Wonder. It's very strange. That's the first time we've seen a side quest that's got a plus on it. If it's like a different kind of side quest. Well, only one way to find out. Let's do it.
Try not to move.
It also seems like it has a pretty unique name.
You there! Don't
Let's see what it... Maybe it'll tell us.
You handy with that sword of yours? Course you are. Bet you're a bloody marvel with the thing. Now, question is, are you willing to use it or not? 'Cause a flock of noble chocobos are in need of help.
Chocobos?
You heard me right. Wild birds? The big ones? And not just any chocobos at that. Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest birds you ever did see. They protect travellers round these parts from bandits and the like.
Chocobos? Fighting bandits?
It's true. Why, they saved me from a gang of footpads only yesterday. Nasty lot they were too. And now they're back, looking to settle the score. Well, go on then. Don't just stand there. Go and help them.
Okay, whatever this is, it's going to give us 20 of those points. I don't know what they're for yet. Probably, maybe it's something we can find out at the hideaway. Probably some shop where we can use those points.
Right.
There's a good lad.
Where can I find these chocobos?
I saw him cut across the way over yonder. The rotten scoundrels were driving the poor things towards the old dock. It's a dead end, that is. You save Whiteheart and her flock, you hear me? There ain't a pluckier bird in all the world. She's a hero to us locals.
I
And
wonder
don't
if
worry,
that's our chocobo.
you'll know her when you see her, right enough.
I bet you that's our
I'm sure I
chocobo.
will.
And good luck to you. And give those no-good bastards a hiding from me.
Maybe that's... So I have two ideas about that plus on the side quest. It's either to signify that we're going to get that other currency that we still haven't figured out what the hell it is yet. Or maybe this plus signifies that this side quest might have some relation
White
to
Hart.
the main quest.
That's quite a name for a chocobo.
And this might be our long lost, white colored chocobo that we, I don't know if he died at Phoenix Gate. He did get hit in the head with a rock, though. But he didn't die, so maybe he was able to get out of there before we leveled everything with the freight.
A white feather. I thought Ambrosia was one of a kind.
Maybe. Oh, there it is. Yep, you mentioned her, Ambrosia.
Speaking of brave birds.
Maybe it's the same bird.
Looks like they went that way.
Come on, Clive. Let's go and save her. White chocobo pinion. I mean, I don't know if like the color, like, cause that was like a purple item. That's I mean, there have been a lot of items with different colors.
These chocobos aren't going down without a fight.
It's a very typical thing to do in MMORPGs. With you get common items, uncommon items, rare items, legendary items, then like ancient items. And they all have like their own color. Purple usually signifies rare items.
You didn't think you'd seen the last of us, did you? You've been bad for business. But I reckon someone will pay good coin to mount your head on their wall.
Not around here, they won't.
Oh. And why's that, eh?
Because she's something of a hero in these parts. You hurt her, and I hurt you.
Where's Jill?
Piss off. Or better still, how about we hurt you both?
All right then. But don't say I didn't warn you.
Oh, there she was. Why wasn't she in the cutscene? I'm taking you out first, dude. I guess there's another person shooting some magic around here.
It's over.
Let's see if this will kill him. I bother attacking these guys. Okay, that took care of most of them, I guess. Ah, more people are coming. How unfortunate. For them. Oh, just some hounds. You might have actually helped your owners if you came in here earlier. A little too late now. Dog. Oh, God. I don't know where this fight came from.
Nice try.
I can't believe we got that dodge. I can't even see anything. Nope, can't see anything. One bad thing about this dorm here. Not see a damn thing. I still can't believe we only got him down to half health.
Nice try. Fire and flame!
Thankfully, this guy's got some slow moves. So as long as we're careful about the delays he has, which is the biggest pain. It's kind of wild that, like, you would think that the faster an enemy is, the harder it would be for you to dodge. But, like, the delays are what kill you. Because if he's just fast, his moves are consistent. You might struggle in the beginning, but once you get used to it, you can just dodge them really easy. It's these stupid delays. Is that our chocobo? Maybe not. It'd be nice.
White Hart, I presume.
It'd be nice if we had our own chocobo. That way we don't have to walk around.
Do you know her, boy? That scar.
Oh, it is my chocobo. I knew it. So maybe my second guess was right about the plus on the side quest. it's related to the main quest, or
Ambrosia.
it's related to Clive in some way.
It is you. You survived. And you found yourself a flock.
Oi! Is it over? I thought I'd come and see how you were getting on. Oh, you sorted the bastards then. I knew you would. And the whole flock made it through unscathed.
Thankfully, they did. And not only that.
You know, I feel bad for killing those other chocobos a couple days ago. I mean, some of them attacked me, so I don't know how bad I should feel. Those
Well, I'll be. I never stopped to think our hero here might once have been someone's mount. Though I dare say she'd suit a fine fellow like yourself. Reckon our feathered friend must have learned a thing or two from her master. Kind-hearted warrior that you are.
Although I gotta say, it is very strange that we can
Like her
fight
would have cost a
chocobos in
princely
this game.
sum.
That is,
Born a lord or something.
and I suppose
Well,
that's. I mean, I guess it's always been a thing.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pry.
The chocobos are usually
Matter who
pretty
you
scary.
are, you done right by me.
Usually, when you find them in battle, it's hard to kill them because they run away so fast.
She wants her master back, I reckon.
Not in this game.
Told you. And it seems her pals agree.
Is that it? You want to come with me?
Well, bugger me if this ain't a heartwarming sight. The lads down the stables will be hearing about this tonight. Oh, stay right where you are.
What's he gonna do? Take a picture? Or maybe a painting in this era? No cameras. Oh, a saddle. Makes sense. I heard the noise, the rustling. Oh, nice. He's got an eye patch, too. Oh, they all have saddles.
Doesn't she cut an handsome figure, eh?
Why do the other ones
She
have
does
saddles?
indeed.
I swear,
How much do I owe you?
if Torgal...
Few scraps of leather's the very least I owe old Whiteheart. Oh, I'll be sad to see her go, of course. But she's earned her right to happiness and more besides.
I wonder if Torgal's
Don't
going to be
you worry,
riding on the
we'll get
chocobo.
along just fine without her.
I mean, there is 3 of us.
You hear that, Whiteheart? You've earned yourself some time off. You have fun traveling with your master now. You seem awful familiar now I get a proper look at you. That's it. When those chocobos swarmed my cart on the road, didn't you? No. No, that can't be right. That fellow was a bearer.
Must have been my double.
Oh, must have been, eh? Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me. Silly sod that I
This
am.
is how,
Pay me no mind.
This is how Superman can just put on
on my way.
glasses and
Good luck
become
to the
Clark
both
Kent.
of you.
Nobody knows the difference. All we did was remove a tattoo, and this guy doesn't even know who the hell helped them the first time.
You take care of your flock for now. I'll call you when I need you.
Cool, cool. Now we have a chocobo that we can ride, because it pays off to do these side quests. Got a saddle. And some crafting material. So maybe that plus on the side quest has nothing to do with it relating to the story, and somehow more so it might just represent, if you do this quest, you're going to unlock a new feature. And I guess in this case, it's mount up. After 18 long years, Clive has finally been reunited with his faithful steed. Hold R3 while in the field to summon Ambrosia, and X to mount the Chocobo. Cool. And how long do Chocobos live for? 18 years? Still alive. Wild. Okay, now that we got that Chocobo, though, let's see if Torgal rides one. Because there's no way they're just gonna walk, right? When you ride alone. Ah, poor Torgal. He's gotta run for himself. I was hoping that he would get his own Chocobo, but I guess not. Alright. Oh, it's even got the hard R2 that we have to push. Adaptive triggers, nice. Feels so weird. It's like they're hard to push. Once you push it, it becomes like super soft. And that moment where it goes from hard to soft is just it's an awkward feeling. I think it works much better when opening, giant doors. But too bad. We have nothing. Oh, he's gone. It just disappears. Okay. I was gonna say too bad, Ambrosia. Can't take you to the hideaway. Didn't even wait for me to say goodbye. You just disappeared.
Now, where's Gav?
Gav should be back by now.
I hear there's trouble.
I forget what was Gav doing. Probably sent him to do some recon. I'd take a guess.
Ah, Clive! How I've missed that scowl.
Who's that lady?
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the Mother Crystals.
Time to take out the second Mother Crystal.
4 Mother Crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome.
Thought we took care of that one.
Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia.
Oh, they're all called Drake something.
Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rosfield.
Lord Byron Rosfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait. Rosfield. And you're a Rosfield, of course.
I thought he knew that already.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
I guess we gotta take down all these mother crystals. Man, there's still 4 more for us to do. We're gonna be here for a while. See, I thought that would be the Hunt's board. Otto's counter is now open. Let's see, new facilities. The following hideaway facilities are now available. Alien reports, which I think is for side quest. The Patron's Whisper and the Hunt board. Yep, there it is. We probably already took care of our first hunt.
What are we...
I mean, the game kind of set us up that way, right? We kind of just ran into it.
Waiting for indeed.
You think it's right to touch him?
I mean, that hunt that we took down was pretty much right in front of a main scenario quest. Probably couldn't have avoided it. I mean, we could have ran, but that's about it. It's nice. We got a little wall to memorialize. We got Cid and we got Ambrosia. Nice. Let's just make sure there's nothing new. A bird by any other name. Forgive my insistence on writing you these silly letters. But that we had more time to speak to each other in person, but for every day we spent together, it feels as though we must suffer another 2 apart. It's a very strange sentence from someone who spends all their time with me. I'm glad to hear of your most unexpected reunion with Ambrosia, or should I say Whiteheart. You told me once how your chocobo sacrificed herself to protect you that night at Phoenix Gate, and here, so many years later, we find she has spent her life doing the exact same thing, defending others. Some things never change, do they, Clive? Something happened between those two in these past 5 years. I mean, you can already tell they got a thing for each other. Even before the 5-year time skip. So something must have happened in those 5 years. I'm sure they'll tell us eventually. There's not usually too much of a love story in Final Fantasy. It does not happen often. And if it does happen, it's very tame.
Yep.
I think Final Fantasy VIII had some. Final Fantasy X.
Doesn't sound like anywhere is
I guess
safe.
10-2, if you want to count that, but it's pretty much just 10. 10-2 is just a continuation.
Clive, welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
The Patron's Whisper? Does that mean someone else is taking care of our friend's donations?
Oh no, that's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his hammer. I thought a new name might liven things up. I still catalogue every item that arrives, in addition to setting aside those tokens of appreciation the sender has specified are to be presented to you personally. Would you like to see if we have any?
Why not? Let's ask her about these other things first.
Business is busy.
On top of my regular duties here at the Whisper, Otto has piled countless other tasks, from transcribing and sorting stolas, reporting to penning needful missives. Not that I'm complaining, mind. I enjoy writing. I I have ever since I learned my letters from Jara back in the old hideaway. I won't claim to have been his best student, though. That honor goes to Shirley. Still, I'd like to think Jara would be proud of me, too, were he with us today. For the past 5 years,
Words are immortal.
they live on in others, and if the words are your own, so will you too. Do you know who told me that? It was Jara, in our last lesson before Titan came. It stayed with me ever since his passing and inspired me to become what I am today. I imagine we survivors all have a story like that, of someone who remains with us even though they're gone.
Is everything we've received and everything promised?
Oh, I see. So, finally, we can find out what the hell these. Let's see. Completing side quests will earn Clive renown, inspiring nameless benefactors from across the Twins to donate money or items to Clive's cause. Visit Desiree at the Patron's Whisper and the Hideaway's mess to view current renown level and accept any donations available. Okay, what does this mean? Do I spend renown by accepting? Or does my renown just keep going up? So this just looks like crafting materials. Meteorite. Our order is one built on pride, but that does not mean we are too proud to give thanks where thanks is due. We may have failed Martha once, but never again. The blood axes. Okay, let's see if this consumes renown. It does not.
Here you are.
I guess our renown is just going to keep going up. Berserker ring.
Best of luck out there, Sid.
Cool. Now it actually pays to do these side quests.
How are you doing?
Now it's just worth our time for real.
Here you go.
Looks like, see the alien reports. This is usually where, if there
Seen
are
enough?
any available side quests, that's where it's going to tell us.
Clive.
Let's ask about Gaunt.
Oh, same old.
Oh, same old in it. Otto's got me reading through the reports coming in from our ally and picking out what problems need dealing with now and what can be saved for later. It was still early days back in the old place, so I could just about handle the job myself. State of the world now, though, I need Dee's help to sift through it all. And that's just sifting. Actually solving any of these problems is a whole nother headache. The curse breakers take the urgent stuff, but we're still stuck waiting for volunteers to handle the rest. If you ever find yourself at a loose end, well, you know where to find me. Right. But what happened in the 5 years? So much has happened since that night. Feels like a lifetime ago. But we'll never forget those who didn't make it. Kenneth, Martel, they're still with us in our hearts.
And Sid.
Cliche. And Sid. When I found out he was gone, I thought that was it for us.
He's still with us too.
With us and in you. You took his name and gave us hope when we had none. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is don't be a stranger, eh? A hideaway ain't nothing without its Sid.
You watch yourself out
I
there,
guess that's
all right?
a good point to why he named himself Sid. You know, give the people of the hideaway hope. Clive, there you are, Kupo. I've been looking all over for you.
What's the matter, Nectar?
The matter is this, Kupo.
The hunt board. It's where the curse breakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know?
Of course not, Kupo. I knew all that already. And that's why I need your help. As I need not remind you, Kupo, I am the mightiest of all the Mughals, no fiend of the Force. Dude. So I need you to slay them all, Kupo. It's like they give you the same amount of time for
Well,
whatever dialogue they put up
leaving
there.
your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war, the last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the Cursebreakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
No, thank you, Kupo. It's so good to have found someone who understands me, Kupo. I'll stay here and keep an eye on all the billets that get posted on the board, so if there's anything you need. That talk slower. It's like no matter if the Kupo says 2 words or he says 50 words, they give you like the same 5 seconds to read it all. I can't read that fast. Now let's see. Let's talk to him some more. At least this will wait for us now. Did you see that the Curse Breakers give every billet a rank of riskiness, Kupo? This thing could kill you with a single swipe. Do a 7-nation army couldn't scratch that thing's skin. But I'm sure you'll be fine, Kupo. Well, not sure, but that's one risk I'm willing to take. It's precisely what you see before you, Kupo. The Curse Breakers note down the details of any particular dangerous monsters they hear about or encounter in the course of their duties, Kupo. And post the billet here, Kupo, so that any stout soul who wishes to do the realm a service might set out to slaughter an ungodly horror or two, which is where you come in, Kupo. As for me, I have the most important duty of all, painting a big red cross over each and every one you cut down, Kupo, so that everyone can sleep at night knowing that the realm is a safer place. Ask him about his adventures. Did I ever tell you about the last time I visited the Great Continent, Kupo?
I don't think so.
Of course I didn't, because I've never been, Kupo. Look at these wings. Do they look the sort that might carry a Moogle across countless leagues of open sea? They call me Nectar the Bold, not Nectar the Stupid, Kupo. Why didn't this one get a check mark? Did you see that all the billets are marked with a location, Kupo? That's where the horrible horror in question was seen. But you can't expect to memorize every last name in the whole wide realm. You're only human, Kupo. So if a place name doesn't tingle your pom-pom, Kupo, try reading the witness statement. Sometimes there are other details in them that might help you track down the nasties and finish them off. Let's just keep going with new stuff. Curse Breakers don't just tack up any old rumors on this board. You know they take great pains to verify every little detail, Kupo. So don't you go letting all of their hard work go to waste, Kupo. Don't you let them down. Ah, there we go. You can tell that what was added. You can tell what was added last second in the game. Oh, you think the hunt board was added last? I mean, maybe it was, but this is something that is not new to this Final Fantasy. There was a pretty big hunt board. I mean, this thing can be pretty expansive. There could be a lot of enemies that they can toss on this hunt board, and most of them are going to be really tough. And I imagine that some of them on this hunt board, I would not be shocked if there are enemies on this hunt board that'll end up being stronger than whatever the final boss is. Because this is not something, I mean, they've done this, I think they definitely did this in Final Fantasy 15 and in Final Fantasy 12, from what I can remember. And it's also part of the MMORPG, Final Fantasy 14. So, whether they added it last minute, I don't know, but it's definitely not a new thing. Mark ranked C and a B. So we took a C down. Clairview Sambrek. The Broken Hilt, Rosaria. Clairview Sandbrek. Is it a place I know of? Let's take a quick look. We can't leave. Oh, that's where they want us to go. Are any of these places called Clairview? Or is it like inside one of these areas? I don't know. Not like we can just accept them. Unfortunately.
And how may I assist you today?
Yeah, I just want you to...
Allow me to educate you.
I just want your little, I have new information to tell you. I just want that to go away. And I guess that's it. For any, any new things. So I guess let's go, all the way over there. What a pain to get to. Like on the other side of the map.
That broom's as ragged as ghost locks.
Okay, I'm going in the right direction so far.
You think it's alright to touch him?
You know, this hideaway is like so much bigger, and there's just so many more people. It's wild. But this was just kind of built on the sea. Like, if this ends up turning into an airship, this is gonna be wild. 'Cause it kind of reminds me of the garden in Final Fantasy VIII.
It won't
Except
be
with
long
like
now,
no
Martel.
roof.
They'll try your apples soon. Sid, I was hoping to speak to you.
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just, well, as you know, we've been trying to grow fruit down here.
It's good to know that something of the old highway still lives on.
Martel's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but look at it now. All our hard work's finally paying off. I took it on, you see, after she died, and now the fruit's finally ready to eat. And not only is it ready, it's actually tasty. Sweet as you like, in fact. She bred the bitter right out of it.
Impressive. And welcome news to more than a few, I'd say.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers, on account of all they do for the hideaway. You couldn't take them some, could you? Seems better them coming from you.
Yeah, why not?
It'll be nice
Easy
being
money.
the bearer of good news for a change.
Thank you. She always had a soft spot for that lot, see? And once they've had their share, I'll see to it that everyone else gets some. Here you go. Martel apples, they're called, in honor of her memory. You hear that, Martel? Today's finally the day.
This tree must be located inside the Garden of Eden. The amount of people they can feed from one tree. I mean, look at that. There's like 10 apples on that thing. Where are they getting all these apples from? And what is this guy doing? Is he making some apple cider or something? Distilling these apples, making some alcohol.
Did you come through the forge today?
Let's finish this side quest and then move on with the main story. Let's see. Journey to Hawkscry Cliff. I hate as much as this as cool as this place is. It's gonna take some time to get used to walking around here. I wish this place was just a tad bit more open.
You two look like you could use something to eat. Here. Courtesy of Martel.
Martel. Now, where have I heard that name before?
Weren't she the girl from the Furrows?
Course she was. An odd sort, that one. Loved plants more than people.
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she ran back into the hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked? Wait,
These aren't those apples, are they? Well, I'll be. She'd have been proud, and rightly so. Thank you, Sid.
I thought we were done with that. I guess we have to give it to more people.
A gift from the backyard. For your service.
Blimey, these take me back. I haven't seen a hideaway apple since. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach the things. He'd nab 'em right from the branch, make Martel livid. Not that anyone could stay mad at the man for long.
That sounds like the Sid I knew, all right.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. These aren't Martels, are they? I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the Deadlands. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work didn't go to waste. Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to run some over for me, will you?
Not so much as a thank you. Well, I've got some manners at least. Thanks, Sid. You can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get their share. Oh, and give our compliments to the gardener, won't you?
That was the last of the apples.
Oh man, don't.
I should head to the backyard and pass along
Go
everyone's
back all the way
regards.
over there, really. Oh my god.
that broom's
This is kind of. These are weird objectives for what I would assume is the leader of this hideout, or pretty much the little errand boy. It's one thing to deliver food to the curse breakers. I mean, I would consider the curse breakers the hideaway's military force, and Clive is Master Commander, or whatever you want to call him. In fact, that guy's ordering us to come back and just say thank you to this guy. He could have done it himself.
The Curse Breakers send their thanks. And their compliments. They were clearly very fond of Martel.
They remembered her. After all these years. I suppose she was very kind, even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. You were one of the good ones, Martel. Why did you have to die? She put everything into her work. She wasn't going to rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. And now we do. When she died, I named a sapling after her. And now it's a full-grown tree. Martel lives on through the fruit it bears.
And through you. Her dream would have died with her, had you not kept it alive. That's something to be proud of.
I didn't do anything really, but thank you. You're kinder to me than I deserve.
By the way, Otto's expecting some of your crop. And I wouldn't mind some of it either, if that's not too much to ask.
Of course not. I'll see that you're both well provided for. They like your fruit, Martel. Isn't that wonderful? I'd say it's about time we planted you some siblings, don't you think?
You know, I kind of feel bad. I don't remember who this Martel person is. The only person that I mean, there are two people that I can remember that were like involved with this tree. We did have one quest involving this tree. Um, oh, that's going to be displayed in Clive's chambers. Nice. There was that insane person that was just obsessing over this tree. And he had a quest for us to go find his researcher, I think. And she went to the grapevines to pick up some soil.
How much water can a flower drink?
Now I don't know if, I mean, I would imagine that one of them was called Martell. Don't know which one. I don't really remember if they even said their names. And I don't even remember their faces, so I mean I doubt it's that guy. The other dude was just more insane. Oh man, there's another one here. Wall of Memories. That's probably the apples that we just got. Let's go and do that really quick. Look at that, Torgal. What are you doing? That's why Torgal's not with me when he's in the hideaway. Or Jill, for that matter. What a stupid place to put them. They're just gonna go bad if they're not meant to be decorations, Clive. They're food. Hawk's Cry Cliff. Let's see, Southern Rosaria. From these Arthured highlands, one might catch a glimpse of Rosalith Castle and everything else in between. Well, I think Clive's from the Rosaria Castle, right? Or the Rosalith Castle. I wonder if we're going to go back to the castle at some point. I imagine so. I wonder if this is the place. Yeah, I mean, I don't really understand. We got this place here. Kind of looks like a volcano. This place. This place. I don't think we've been to any of these like major locations. Except maybe this one. I think we started here. I think that was Rosalith Castle. I'm sure we'll go and check out all the other ones in due time. Okay, so let's go to Hawk's Cry Cliff. Make some progress with this main story quest. Southern Rosaria.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Cid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
bloodlines.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
Well, what the hell is with our mother then? I don't understand why she's even bothering. Like, what's her purpose?
Ready, go?
Yeah. Why does she have so much power? Like, who is she? She's someone. She's just been hiding who she really is. How could she just betray us and then join the Empire? I guess I don't know. And then just have all this power. Like, why do people even listen to her? Right? You would think that as soon as she betrayed us, whoever she sided with would just kill her immediately. Why keep her along? No need to kill those guys. Although these guys are much tougher now. Level 24. Maybe we should take some time to kill some of them. I mean, we're at level 26, so it's not like we're falling behind. You have a slight bit of a lead if these enemies are anything to go off of. But I definitely don't want to lose it. Oh, we're going in the wrong direction. Oops, wrong direction. I don't know how that happened. Well, it's a good thing we have this chocobo now. Why is my chocobo slower than her chocobo? Can't believe that chocobo is outpacing me.
Time to fight.
Nope, no time to fight. I wonder if we... Such a weird chocobo design. Why did they decide to pick those colors? I wonder if that bird is... He kind of looks familiar. I wonder if he's like one of the birds you see...
Mockery of justice is
in Final Fantasy VII.
Lord Elwyn would never
have stood
golden
for saucer.
This.
Quiet, you! I think we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all, for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the miller's son?
Amber.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know if us doing
you the
anything here is
first
going
time.
to turn out well for these guys. Even if we go and kill those Black Shields, might
They're a
put all
long
these
way
other
from
people
home,
in
aren't you?
harm's way. Cobalt tassels increases limit break generation amount by 6% while taking damage. The Night Terrors.
You won't be disappointed.
It's just a potion.
I suppose we won't be seeing you again.
I mean, we have 60,000 gil, but damn. Those, that music we can buy for the jukebox is still pretty expensive.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, the Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits. You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones to think you could take on the Empire.
Interesting. I wonder if those were the Black Shields that we killed. Or are they talking about some other ones? I don't think we stole any supplies, so maybe they're talking about somebody else.
You seen him?
But
didn't
who?
You?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. Just now. You seen them, didn't you? At least I think there was a Black Shields. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harboring firebrands. Huh. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a Black Shield myself.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out.
Yeah, it's probably going to be us. So is us.
Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
Or Joshua.
I know that. What do you want? We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another Eastpool.
Then we shall be on our way.
Well, I mean, he's a coward, but he's at least smart about it. Eastpool was a disaster.
These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Yeah, that is a mistake.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do?
Oh, interesting.
Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Is that what's...
Perhaps.
Is that what's going on? Is there really somebody else? A third party member? I guess let's go this way. Why not?
Come on.
We haven't gone in this direction, so we might as well
Fly,
go.
Ambrosia.
Better
This
than
pass
going
will
back
take us
the
through
other
the
way.
mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Perfect. Fallen Hunter. Ooh, hold on.
It's the apothecary. We've seen more and more of these echoes.
I didn't realize he can
What do you
attack.
think is waking them? The Mother Crystal's collapse?
I have an idea. You're not going to like it.
Yeah, let's dismount.
Be safe.
It's too slow. Those are so weird. What the hell are they? They just seem so out of place here.
Good girl.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It'd be nice if they would stay and fight with us. You know, when we dismount. But I guess not. Let's just run away from these guys. No point getting on and off our chocobo. Although they probably don't want us to use a chocobo here. It's not easy to move around. Oh, the black shields.
More
Hey there.
of my mother's men.
On that fire ability on cooldown. That's unfortunate. Well, I don't know who else is killing these black shield guys, but it seems like anybody can be killing them. Don't seem to be that difficult, to be honest. And look at that, they got killed by a small whirlwind, or a little tiny tornado. How strong can they really be? I bet you I can kill them with my chocobo.
Faster!
Oh, damn it. Okay. I was gonna run past these guys, but usually stuff inside a chest definitely worth looking at. So let's not skip out on this. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm sure. Actually, can we pick stuff up like that during a fight? It'd be interesting to know. Nope. Yeah, it's not like a normal item. Or we can just kind of run past it.
Good girl.
Oh, that guy didn't even wake up. Is this an enemy? Oh, we must have. Oh, that guy must be dead already. Kind of weird. More black shields.
Straight home now.
Why are these guys all over the place? There is somebody killing them, you know, other than me. I always missed that attack. Sure as hell did not like these flying enemies. That was a pain in the ass to kill. Although that deadly embrace is pretty OP when it comes to attacking those guys. Yeah, we're almost. Oh. Since we're almost there, there's no point in us summoning our chocobo, but of course we got into this fight. Wonderful. I suppose it's not bad. You know, experience or ability points, I'll take it. Oop, cutscene.
Blood, Clive.
That's a lot of blood, too. Looks like somebody went overboard. Who do we got here?
You were told to stay in your homes.
Ah, more of these guys.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then, we owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these, our swords we swear.
say that again.
Are these things that the original shields said? Is that
I'll
why he's
show
so
you
pissed
a
off?
true shield of Rosaria.
Yeah, that must be something the shields of Rosaria said. Dude, this... Our mother's like... It's bad enough that our mother's like getting all these people killed, but it's like... The fact that she has them reciting something that other people recited, you know, in the Kingdom of Rosaria, it's like psychotic. Like worse than anything you can ever imagine.
Enough.
I would be fine with her becoming the final boss, or her just being the final boss. It'd be awesome. She deserves it. It's amazing how quick she pissed me off. Like 2 or 3 hours into the game, and I was already like hating this woman. I didn't like her from the beginning, to be honest. She was an asshole from the beginning.
Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Why, you? We come bearing a message. Your friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camps. They await you in Odil. Guardians of the Flame.
I love him spilling the beans.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
I mean, dude was already dead. Could have just kept his mouth shut. Makes like no sense for him to talk to us. Like we literally killed them. Killed him and his buddies. And you're like seconds away from dying. You might as well just keep your mouth shut at that point. What do you expect us to do? Toss you a potion and then just keep stabbing you? Everybody knows potions and Phoenix Downs don't work inside of cutscenes.
Death.
Yeah, he said he'd make it quick, but the guy died on his own.
Found her.
Damn, what is this, Resident Evil? Kind of reminds me of that first village we saw in the demo.
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone?
I'm telling you,
I
man,
don't know.
psychotic.
I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
Something's going on with Jill. Hopefully it's
We
nothing
can't
too
leave them
serious.
here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
Hopefully she doesn't end up betraying us. I don't think my heart can take it if Jill betrays us. Hopefully she's just got her own demons that she's struggling with. And maybe at some point we'll help her deal with it like she helped us with ours. Oh, case to look around. Goblin coin. We have been picking up some stuff that seems like it would only be useful to us to sell. I wonder how much, like we picked, we did some quests, and in some of those quests we got some item called a gill bug. You know, typical items in RPGs that are given to you instead of money.
We're approaching Buick Bridge.
But are only meant
No,
for
I
you to
doubt the
sell.
Empire
So
would let us cross over to Rosalith.
I wonder how much you can sell them for. No. I mean, we have good money at the moment, and there's really nothing for us to buy unless we want to. I mean, there's all that music that we can buy, which would be nice, but it's really expensive, and I don't want to waste all my money on it. Maybe if we have like a reliable way to make money, then maybe I'll start buying some of those things. But at the moment, let us not.
I did, Mummy. I could hear him shouting from down the road.
Hush now. You didn't hear nothing.
In honor of the 250th anniversary of the founding of the Grand Duchy of Rosaria.
They tell us there's a curfew, but then refuse us passage back.
Passage to the provincial capital is restricted to Imperial Army personnel.
The gates are closed.
Okay, I guess we're gonna have to sneak in.
But this is their home.
I'm hungry.
If we have to go in that direction, I'm not actually sure. I wish there was like a zoom in feature so I can like zoom in. Let's see, is that? Yep, that is the castle. Actually, I wonder if our mother is actually. I wonder if she took over the place. I thought she like betrayed us and went to the Empire or the Imperial Army, wherever she went. I thought that's where she went. And I thought she stayed there.
Ready, go?
It'd be kind of surprising if she actually came back. Betrayed us and then took over the former kingdom. Why'd she give up the power? I don't know if she gave up the power, right? I mean, she was married.
Lazarus. What happened to this place?
I mean, I don't really
My mother
understand her
happened.
motives.
The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better.
I mean, she was concerned
We're
with
not
like
alone.
your bloodline and all that, and I don't know what her background is or why she betrayed us. I really don't
That's the
understand
main
it.
gate. And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
I think maybe it had something to do with bloodline. I don't think it was explained too much. There might have been a couple words mentioned on it when she came to the Phoenix Gate after everything that happened. I mean, she's the reason our father is dead, and the reason that Joshua almost died. I mean, we thought he was dead for the whole time. And I guess technically she did save our life after trying to kill us. So. I don't think she gave up any power. She might have killed everybody, because I don't think she was technically in power, right? I guess technically our father was in power. So maybe she betrayed him to get control over whatever he had and have some cooperation with the Empire.
Have mercy.
Maybe she works under them. I don't know. But she's in control of this little area.
Viceland's dogs they are.
I'm sure we'll find out more about it later.
Or we'll die on your doorstep.
Better out there than in here.
More than enough room to
Fuck off. Hang the chinless bastards. Those crystals belong to us all. Bleeding horse. I said, where were you, filth? Back to your sties. We'll cut you down where you stand. Just try it.
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in.
Come on, Sid. I mean, come on, Clive. You took over Sid's name. Can you find those special shortcuts?
I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus.
I guess he's familiar with, he's got his own special shortcut too.
There.
If you're sure. The entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
Black light burns.
The good news is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
I wonder if we should check out over here before we dip out. There might be some chest for us to open. I don't think there's any shops. Yeah, sure, there might be people we can talk to, but...
I'm so hungry.
I gotta say, this game has definitely earned its mature rating. Kinda wild to have a mature Final Fantasy game. I keep forgetting to look, but I'm almost positive that this is the only mature rated Final Fantasy game. Which is kind of bizarre that they decide, because I mean, I don't know if people think about it, but like, you're potentially cutting off a huge portion of the market.
Why won't they let us in?
By making the game mature rating, right? You need to be 18 plus to buy it, at least in the US. So I don't know why they decided to do that. You would think that it would be, they made this game for their, the classic Final Fantasy fans. But, a lot of the classic Final Fantasy fans, or at least some of them, I don't know. I don't personally mind with not having turn-based combat. But a lot of those classic Final Fantasy fans are not a fan of this action RPG kind of style. The fact that they would make it a mature rating, I mean, I suppose... Actually, let's see. You're 18 today. That would be, let's see, 2005. Damn, I'm old. Final Fantasy X was already out at that point. Yeah, maybe there were other fans. I guess we're not... All the people that played the, the original, maybe Final Fantasy 1 or something. Those guys aren't original fans. They're like, the old fans, the ancient fans. You don't think ratings matter when you can just download them off Steam? I mean, well, the game's not on Steam. But I get your point. You can download it off the PlayStation Store. But you would have had to make an account. I mean, if you're just a kid, right? and you don't have any money, and you have to ask your parents to buy you the game. I mean, if they're not stupid and they actually do their due diligence, they'll be like, "Hey, this game's got a mature rating."
This is nothing like I remember it.
Right? They might
Quickly
ask you
crown
some
can lose
questions.
its luster.
Now, whether you can talk your way out of that, I mean, trust me, I've talked my way. I've talked my way. To get my parents to buy a mature rated game. So it's not impossible, but it's definitely another barrier to entry. But I don't know. I don't even know how many people that are under 18 would even be a fan of Final Fantasy. I mean, maybe the combat and the graphics appeal to them, but the legacy of Final Fantasy might not even appeal to them. Yeah, you got to put it in your credit card, or at the very least, it's got to be already. I mean, maybe it's saved on their PlayStation, but then you'd be spending $70 on a game without telling your parents. Guaranteed ass whipping. At least back in the day. I don't know about nowadays. Okay, let's see if I can find this shortcut. Come on, Sid. Can I use my animal instincts? What is it? R3. L3, isn't it? No. Doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like we can do it. We've been picking up crafting material after crafting material, and I don't think we've made anything. I mean, we've made like our main weapon, but it's been like an upgrade from the previous weapon for like the past 3 weapons. So like one of the ingredients is always like a wind shard or a fire shard or a lightning shard. And then
Not abandoned then.
And then the previous weapon.
Oi! Visitors!
And a small amount of other crafting material.
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out. Or not.
We're not even gonna talk. Straight to killing. These poor suckers didn't even stand a chance. Not enough to kill people anymore, which is unfortunate. They might not have died if they just had a quick conversation with us. Ah, here, the gill bug. That's what I was talking about earlier. I wonder how much these sell for.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died.
Oh, were those one of the 2 people that helped us in the marshes? It is.
Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
It is. So wait.
Sorry for killing those people. I like how nobody cares that we just killed like 10 of their guys.
We can speak inside.
Not even mentioned. Slit their friends. Oh, they're not dead. Okay. The one time we didn't kill them. Why? Because Yeah, because the story needed it to happen.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We
little
left
plot
before
hole
the
there.
Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't
Or a
go
little
far.
funny business, not a plot hole, I guess.
And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye, the foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, but in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
I guess we have a stepbrother now.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge.
Then so do we.
Make ready.
This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else.
What happened at the dock? Oh.
If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
I think we were at the docks already. We didn't spend too much time at the docks, though.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
You know, I think I might have an idea of why his mother's might be doing what he's doing, or what she's doing.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
You know, especially
And
with
let's
her
hope Sir Wade
talk
has a good
about
quartermaster.
bloodline. Maybe she's a special type of bloodline, which has a higher chance of producing dominance, or people that can use magic. But I think dominance, right? Because he had us. I mean, I don't know. I think she's our blood mother, right? So, I mean, we have special powers. You have Joshua, who is a dominant. Maybe what was going on with Rosaria, you know, us being technically a failure of a dominant. Joshua being kind of sickly. Maybe she thought her bloodline was in jeopardy and betrayed us. And then she hooked up with the Emperor, apparently. And now she has a new son, our stepbrother, which he could be at 18 years old. I mean, because it's been 18 years. You know, there was that first 13-year period, and then there was another 5 years. I imagine he's probably not exactly 18. Probably a little younger than that. But he's probably pretty old at this point. 16, something like that. I guess let's see what's new at the shop.
You are welcome to what little we have managed to salvage.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising, though. Pretty much what everybody else has.
It has been an honor.
Okay, I think that's it. Let's go.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buett Bridge and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
The fact that he's still alive.
So Wade, the bearers from Oldale have been laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Just wonder what happened to the other dude. I forget if he died at Phoenix Gate.
Thank you, Sir Wade.
A lot of weird stuff happened there.
Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
Yo, welcome to the stream, Fudge. Good morning. Everything's going pretty well. Thanks for asking. How you doing? Let's see, party members. Throughout the main scenario, Clive will often be joined by various companions who are keen to lend their assistance. However, depending on Clive's destination, they may choose to remain behind at the hideaway. Okay, do we actually have party members that we can control? Because people have been joining and leaving our party forever. Why'd that message just pop up now? Whatever. Let's get out of here.
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
One guy got squashed like a grape, didn't they? Are you talking about that short I made? I made a
How long
short.
have you been pursuing the Black
How about
Shields?
someone getting squashed like
Since
a
they
grape?
burned their first village.
That was
We
wild.
tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Does he have his own chocobo? He sure does. You're trying to psych yourself up. Gotta change the brake pads on the car today before it goes in for MOT on Friday. That's an easy job, man. You got this. At least it can be. Especially if you got the disc brakes. Now, if you got some drum brakes in the back, they can be more time consuming, unfortunately.
Come along now.
Definitely not a fan of them.
The bastards are lucky I didn't.
There they are.
Oh, you've never done it
On
before.
your command, my lord.
Well, watch some videos. I recommend at the very least. I mean, you do need breaks to live.
What is it now? I told you!
We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame!
You disrespect my dog.
For Azaria!
For Azaria!
Your petty revolution ends here.
Yep, not because we're about to die, it's because you guys are about to die.
On these our swords we swear.
Okay, that's pretty much most of them. That it? Nope, we got the captain, of course. Who's got too much HP.
Reinforcements from the far bank!
Another wyvern to fight their battles for them.
Oh, this guy's got a lot more HP. But not enough.
More dragons.
Okay, maybe having more dragons might be helpful to them.
Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't.
But I still think it's a... And I think maybe I'm gonna get rid of this ability. I think the other one was better. Can I actually stop? Oh, I can't. Oh, that sucked. Well, at least we learned some new information. I was hoping that we could stop our limit break like halfway through and like regain some of our
A noble stand, albeit
Ooh, a dragoon.
misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
It's like the third dragoon that we faced. Are you gonna get a friend to help you? Oh, that's good. Well, be safe. And don't take any unnecessary risks. You easily get hurt. You do something stupid. Yeah, so I was hoping to stop my limit break early. And then keep some of my bar here. But nope, as soon as you stop the limit break, your bar just goes away, no matter how much is left.
Sir Wade!
Found them. There's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
You mean finish him?
Nice try.
Maruda!
These parries, man. I'm getting lucky with these parries.
To me, boy.
I should probably toss a potion in there, huh?
There's a good boy.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe we don't need it. We can just use this so we can get back some HP.
I won't fall for the likes of you.
And he's probably dead anyways.
To me, boy.
Can't make his way out of this. He's probably dead before he's out of the stagger. Maybe not. Oh. Just barely made it. And we didn't have to waste the potion. So many crafting materials. You would think there'd be a million things to craft, but there's barely anything at this point.
I don't see any more.
Maybe I should look at the upgrade
Nor
menu.
do I. The plan worked.
Maybe that's where most of the stuff is.
It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud. My, Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it, as we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die, and her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
This dude's been putting in the work for 18 years. He looks pretty old, too. I mean, he wasn't young when we saw him 18 years ago. He's got my respect.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter.
Another seal?
It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
Yep, another seal. The burnt blade.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see.
Ah, there he is. Who is this one?
Or the Lord Commander.
Where is Sir Tyler? Is he dead? He must have died that night.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
I still think our sword is pretty cool. It'll be sad to see it go the next time we get another weapon. Although let's see, I'll mention it later. Let's see, Rossfield Manor. Is this where our uncle is?
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance.
Somebody's walking.
All right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rossfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue.
I mean, we're like a spitting image of our father. You would think he would recognize us.
You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Must be something we did when we were young.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Madu in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint and the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I knew it was some sort of play.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford.
Let's hope he doesn't stab me in the back. You know, unwilling.
So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
I don't know, everybody's betraying me left and right. Just
For
get
better or
this weird
worse,
feeling.
I've been charged with governing this town, and
But he
thus
has
must
to betray
maintain
us.
the illusion of obedience.
Or at least he has to
That's all I
put
can
that
do
illusion
to
out.
aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
Definitely wouldn't do it on purpose, I imagine.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive.
Now it's
The
been
nation
20
your
years.
father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother.
Maybe he's just rounding up. Thought it was only 18 years.
All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
By your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
I'd say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
This guy seems pretty fun for real. Let's hope he doesn't end up dying somehow. Something's still going on with Jill. She refuses to tell us.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Maybe now she'll tell us. This seems
Once
like the
outfitted,
perfect time.
she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Is that her homeland?
Something on your mind?
Please don't say nothing this time.
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that Lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could.
Wonder what happened to that child.
And so I became their puppet.
Welcome to the Stream Lightning Shot.
I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword.
You don't have the game
but
yet?
another's.
I would recommend it if you like action RPGs with a good story.
I removed
I'm loving it
myself
right now.
from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
You know, when this game was first announced, and there was a strong, I don't know if it was like told immediately that this game you'd pretty much be by yourself the whole time. There's no parties in this game. It's just Clive and Torg. Torgal is like the only other party member that we have any control over, and it's only like 3 moves. That's it. Right? So I was like super, I don't know if I was concerned. I personally am not a fan of, like, I love Final Fantasy VI, but just having like, I think there's like 9 characters you can have in your party. As much as I like Final Fantasy VI and all their stories kind of coming together and them having their own separate stories, it's great. But it's just so hard to manage, like, especially if there's like, they join your party and then they disappear for a little bit, and there's like, and it's one thing if you like can just choose, your party from like 10 people or something and kind of just stick with them, but that's never the case when there's like 9 or 10 people, or like more than can fit in one party. They always like force you to use them in some way. So you have to spend more time grinding because they don't usually share experience, and you never know when they're going to split you in 2 parties, and you don't want people to be way too weak. So it's like, it's always a pain in the ass to manage. That's why I was always like, much rather have, if 3 people can be on the party, 3 people. Sometimes Final Fantasy you can have 4 people in the party. Just those 3 or 4 people and I'm fine. But this game took it a completely different direction. It's just one person. I don't have to worry about anything. Right? He's always in my party. And then these other people can, travel with me and assist me, but I don't have any control. like Jill. Jill's been in my party for like the last 10 hours. I have zero control of what she does. I can't even change the gear that she's wearing. Nothing. So, I mean, some people might consider that a negative thing, but I kind of like it. No, I mean, yeah, it's got its benefits and it's got its, and there are bad things about it, right? Personally, I'm fine with that. The voice acting is so good. You were literally hanging on every word during that cutscene. Yeah, like voice acting has been top notch this whole game. I don't think I've seen anybody. The only thing I wouldn't even say it's a complaint about the voice acting itself. Just, I guess it's more of a complaint of Square Enix. Like, for the longest time in this game, everything has been voiced. Side quests, just random people that, that don't seem that important. Fully voiced dialogue. And there are some people in the hideaway that have like partially voiced dialogue, which is so annoying. And then what's even more annoying is that there'll be like a sentence or like two sentences that pop up for someone's dialogue, and then like 5 words are voiced, and then it just stops. And I'm just like, what? You couldn't even finish the damn sentence? I have to read it. I have to read like halfway through the sentence. You guys couldn't finish? Couldn't you have paid the guy to voice the dialogue or the whole thing? Especially in the hideaway. It's like the main hub. They said they got co-op. I don't believe that. I doubt it. Maybe in a DLC, I don't know. Final Fantasy II is a little like that. You have 3 party members that you stick with, and the 4th just changes and leaves. Yeah, I hate that too when they'll read a few words and then just stop. And like before that, they were reading everything, right? Like you're talking to them, fully voiced dialogue, and then you just, for some reason, you pick, a different, dialogue tree. You ask them a different question, and like some of it's completely not read, some of it's just a couple words. And it's just like, why? Why did you do this, Square Enix? This is like, you're like, this game needs to do well for Square Enix. This is like the most important franchise. This is the most important game for the next couple of years. And then, you also have the Final Fantasy VII Remake coming out next year, but this is the new Final Fantasy in the series. It's huge. The fact that they couldn't pay how much more could it have been to pay that person? A couple thousand? I don't know. In the grand scheme of things, it just seems cheap and lazy. I don't know. I can understand you not wanting to voice everybody, every random NPC, but if you have an NPC in the main hub of the game that is like a important person that you talk to, and you have most of the dialogue voiced, but not all of it, it's just like, why? Let's continue, or else I'm never going to stop talking about this. Back to the hideaway. Black light burns. Here be monsters.
Only the Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
Oh, we got some side quests. 2 side quests. Ooh, this one's an important side quest, I think. Alright, let's go and do those first. A new missive. Let's see what this one's about. Oh, let's see if this guy has a new song. The last song I heard from you I did not like, so hopefully this one's better.
Against the gloom of bygone days, do motes of flame take flight. From glow
stars, beacons blaze to see us through the night.
Yeah, I like he had better lyrics at the other hideaway. They probably had to meet deadlines, but I mean, how much more time could it have taken to read a couple more sentences? I mean, you already have the person there. Instead of the person, instead of this person reading, 5 pages of dialogue to cover the whole game, you could have them read 10 pages. Sure, it might take a couple extra days, maybe a couple extra weeks, depending on how many people there are. I don't know. I mean, if it was like that, not too time consuming to record some voice dialogue. Now, if we're talking about like they had to spend some time programming, they couldn't add this feature because there wasn't enough time to program this into the game, or something to do with music or artwork, then I can understand. But somebody just reading some lines, I don't know.
I didn't take you for a scholar, Ivan.
Oh, this? It's Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage. I borrowed it from old tomes. Seems there's no creature in the realm so foul it can't be cooked up into something delicious.
Think I'll stick to the unfoul ones, thanks.
Oh, where's your sense of adventure, Sid? Honestly, one glance at these recipes, and even you would trade in your sword for a butcher's cleaver. From spit roasts to sweetmeats, this book has them all. What I wouldn't give to bring these recipes to life.
If it's my blessing you're hoping for, then by all means.
Well, I'm no hunter, Sid. The first ton of worm I came across would be the death of me. But you're made of sterner stuff. Would you help me resurrect one of these recipes?
Sure, why not?
Something tells me you won't be taking no for an answer. Fine, I'll help.
Fantastic! Thank you.
So, dare I ask what's on the menu?
Chance's Stew. It was once a favourite among the gourmands of Oriflamme, if the author is to be believed. Though Molly's never heard of it. The only problem is that while the recipe is extremely detailed in most respects, it's infuriatingly cryptic as to the main ingredient. A beast, no doubt. Most likely something that would make easy work of a simple cook with more broth than brawn, but unwanted violets. I've no idea what they might be.
Does the book say anything else?
Well, only that the sweetest violets sprout atop the bed of roses.
Roses. Rosaria, perhaps? One of the butchers in Martha's Rest might know something. I'll ask next time I'm there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I buy that, noob. Yeah, I know dialogue has to be written. And I mean, I can see the point where they wrote some dialogue, they hired some voice actors, and they paid them and they did what they did, and then maybe later on they wrote some other dialogue and they didn't want to deal with bringing all the voice actors back and doing more voice dialogue. But some of the stuff, like, how do you explain them reading? Like, they'll put like 2 sentences of dialogue and they'll read like half of it and then just stop. Like, how do you answer for that? If you read half the sentence, it must have been written, unless they changed half the sentence and didn't bother re-recording it. And then when it comes to renting a studio, I mean, I doubt it. I mean, this is Square Enix we're talking about. You know, they're not a small indie company.
Typical nobles, cowering behind their
The only thing that
walls
makes
rather
sense
than
is
joining the fight.
that might be time consuming and they didn't want to do it, is, the lip syncing. I'll give you that one. And the rewrites.
About these
I can see that too.
There are new billets being posted every day.
Clive!
Maybe that's what
glad
it
to
is.
see you.
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. He ain't
But in the
himself.
end,
And if I'm honest, he ain't been for a while. That normally it
I'm
only
just the
takes a couple
consumer.
of drinks to perk him back up, but
Exactly, it's
not
kind of
this
lazy.
time.
It's like, yeah, I
Something's
can
getting
understand. Like, I don't want to be
Whatever it is, he ain't telling. It's like he lost his
non-sympathetic,
spark,
but
you know?
at the end of the day, it's like
He's barely got enough fire in his belly to get the ump about
it's
stuff.
not in the game, and I'm
But
playing
thinking
it.
he
I
might
didn't make
if
the
we
game.
both bent his ear, because he respects you, innit? So, what you say?
Maintaining a studio is a big deal. It's much cheaper to get it for a game. I don't know. I wouldn't know. Like, I don't know if they have a studio. But the only reason I say Square Enix might have a studio is because their music, the music that they make, is just top tier. I would be really. I mean, they have Final Fantasy has their own band that does tours. They're called the Black Mages. You can look it up. Like, they tour. They still tour. Like, so I think they might need a studio in their headquarters to produce music.
If you think it will help.
I knew you'd understand.
Square
But
Enix
if he
is like
doesn't want to talk,
a very
we let
special
him be.
company when it comes to music.
He'll open up when he's ready.
So I wouldn't be
All
surprised if they have their own studio.
Now, he'll only smell a rat if we both turn up at once. So, I'll go first, and you can meet us at the forge. Wait a bit, then head over when you're ready.
I would love to go. I would love to go to a Black Mages concert. I'm pretty sure they're still touring. They didn't in 2012. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure about back then. I forget when the Black Mages became a band. I think it might have been when Final Fantasy XIV came out. Right? Yeah, but there's just so many games that they're making nowadays. I mean, you have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming out in less than a year, and then if you believe the rumors, you got another Final Fantasy IX remake coming. You have Star Ocean. A lot of other RPGs that I can't think of right now. Maybe they just didn't want to bring in the voice actor. That's true. Maybe, like you said, maybe they did some rewriting and they just didn't want to bring the voice actors back. Yeah, I mean that seems very plausible. And it's a minor nitpick, right? The game is so good. I'm just nitpicking at, anything you can. That's what happens when a game's really good. You see small
August,
flaws.
And now you.
That really
Pair
don't.
up
You wouldn't
to-
really care if it happened in
What's
other
he gonna
games.
do with me?
August was worried that something had been weighing on your mind. I thought you might want to talk about it.
Did you now? I told you not to stick your nose in my business. What'd you go and do?
Clive just wants to help, innit? What's so bad about that? Talk to him. You never know, you might feel better for getting it all out in the open. Please, mate. I'm worried about you.
Phil shut you up. It's nothing really. Stupid. Not the sort of thing you bother people about.
Why don't you tell us all the same?
Karen and I have an arrangement. I keep an eye on Goots, and she shows me what the competition's up to. Interesting arms and armor, things like that. Anyway, the other day, she shows me a cuirass she's come by. Masterpiece of level work. Light, supple, and tougher than it had any right to be. Made my stuff look like every clumsy shit. I should have brought the bastard thing there and then just to study it, but I was too proud. And now every time I reach for my hammer, I'm reminded that I'm not the craftsman I thought I was. There. You happy? You got what you came for. Now piss off.
All right. We're going.
Pretty common for JRPGs to do that with voice dialogue. To be fair, not sure why, but many had the same thing with audio and side story dialogue. Although I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy VII Remake was
thought of
fully
old Blackthorn as
voiced,
a bit
so
of a
was
force of
Crisis
nature.
Core Remake, if I'm
Like
not
a
mistaken.
Storm cloud full of ale. Didn't think anything could rattle him.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Least of all,
sure.
a stupid piece
Maybe
of
other
leather.
than like random
Blackthorn's
NPC.
always taken pride in his craft. Questioning it means questioning himself. Something tells me this is only going to get worse. If he has doubts, it will affect his work, which will only add to his problems. We need to nip this in the bud.
I couldn't agree more.
He said he should have bought that cuirass. Perhaps we should track it down for him. Assuming you're happy to help, that is.
Too bloody right I am.
Glad to hear it. First things first, then. We need to speak to Karen.
Even random NPCs had voice dialogue. Oh, you're right. Yeah, you did. You're right. The funny thing is, it's like I wouldn't even care about some people not having fully voiced dialogue in this game. The fact that they decided to voice half of what they say, like they'll be like I said, there'll be like two sentences. They'll read like one, and I'll have to read the other sentence.
He's Torgal.
I would have rather you read
You
nothing.
too, if you gave him as many nuts as Nan does.
But I don't know.
Karen, do you have a moment? Blackthorn mentioned that you'd recently come by a leather cuirass. An exquisite example of the craft, from what he told us.
And he ain't been himself since he saw it. So we thought we'd buy it for him.
Sorry, sold it already. Didn't think Blackthorn cared for it the way he turned his nose up. But it was nicely put together, that's for certain. Even if the bloke who made it is a bit of an odd one. Happened across him on my travels. Makes all his stuff to order, but the fella who commissioned it refused to pay. He didn't like the colour of summit. So I took it off his hands for a fair price.
You don't know where we might find him, do you?
Like I said, he's a bit of an odd one. Doesn't even have a workshop. He don't trust hunters neither, which means he spends as much time out tracking beasties as he does working their hides.
I see.
He did tell me something, though. Apparently, his next commission's for a set of griffin hide greaves.
Here, there's a griffin on the hunt board. The curse breakers were placing bets on who'd bag it. Now, where the bleeding hell was it sighted? Somewhere in Sambrec, maybe... Care Northern, that was it.
Thank you, Karen. We'd be lost without you.
At least you admit it.
So, it sounds like going after that griffin might be the best chance we have of finding our roaming leatherworker.
I'll leave the hunting to you if you don't mind. While you get on with that, I'll ask around the markets. See if I can't sniff out who he is and where he's hiding.
Good idea. Hopefully one of us will be able to track him down.
That's also a good point, Fudge. I mean, even in this game, random NPCs that we walk by have voice dialogue. Let's see if I can trigger it. I think the same thing in Final Fantasy VII. When you walk by people, they would say something and it'd be voiced. I don't know if that's the same if you actually talk.
Mave over there's the best thing to happen to Hideaway since
That too, yeah. Doesn't bode well for them not voicing other dialogue. Oh well.
Headlands wouldn't be half as bad without all the blood.
What you gonna do, I suppose? Maybe they'll fix it in an update. Oh, 3 new letters. One from Otto, an apple a day. A lad from the yard ran up a basket of martels just this morning, sweet as honey and crisp as the morning breeze they were. I told myself I was only going to have fun, but I reckon if no one else listens to old Otto, I don't have to either. You let Nigel and his lot know they've done a fine job. Was a time you'd catch none but Sid supping on these, for their foul bite. But for him, they were never about the flavor, but about what they represented, our ability to make it on our own. And look at us now. Sid would be proud. A flame none brighter. From Wade. My Lord Marcus, I ask once again for you to forgive my men for your welcome back at the Lazarus, but certainly you can understand that you were the last person any of us were expecting to see at our gates. In the short time since our reunion, you have shown yourself to be the self-same man I followed into Stillwind those many years ago, a true bearer of your father's legacy. only Sir Tyler, the Lord Commander, and all the others who were lost that night were still with us to see how bright your flame now burns. To you and your cause I hereby pledge the swords of the Guardians, and am proud to stand alongside you once again. All quiet in the Dominion. Gav. The Dalmics and the Imperials are at a standoff. They snarl at each other's fangs bared like slum curs, but neither wants to make the first move. It's almost as if they both realize what a stinking pile of chocobo shit they've stepped in. If I were a man to lay a wager, I'd put my copper on this conflict not playing out anytime soon. I shall keep you appraised. Okay. That takes care of everything in here. Let's go to the other area and see what else is new. And then, maybe get a start on some of these side quests. Well, let's see, do you have voice dialogue?
A sea voyage this time, is it? I can lend you an oilskin if you're looking to keep the salt off your back.
Yep, the whole sentence was voiced.
Typical nobles.
Yep, there, yep.
Cowering behind their walls.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Some NPCs, you just start talking to you as soon as you walk by them. They're the ones with the problems.
Today, Clive? Is everything we've received and everything promised?
Hello, Talk. Such is the renown of Sid the Outlaw, that much of my clientele would rather spend their time rattling on about your endeavors than making any endeavor of their own. For that I feel I owe you at least a portion of my earnings. A particularly enamored sort left this on my nightstand. May it serve you better than it did him. A busy courtesan. I wonder if that's from the burlesque house.
Best of luck out there, Sid.
I wonder if it's from Isabel. That seems like that might be a pretty good piece of gear. So let's see. Temporarily increases attack proficiency with each precision dodge. I wonder how much I wonder if it's even worth it. Yeah, let's put it on. Let's see, I guess. Oh, do we have enough? Oh, we do have enough for this ability. Nice. I'll take you. Not enough for this, but we're pretty close to that. After that, we can, what's it called? At least say we got all the abilities on the map, even though we didn't upgrade all of them. Cool, that's bound to be a much better attack. Alright, let's talk Nektar. Or Nekkar. Ask about the Griffin sighting. Perfect. Did I hear you say you were hoping to hunt down a Griffin, Kupo? Then I have a billet for you, Kupo, especially horrible one called the Dozmar. Oh, I was reading that super fast because I thought the dialogue was going to go away. Nope, this is the one I have to push. Dozmar, a Griffin. While passing along the trail from Loswing to Cair Norvent, one of her order was met with a sudden blast of wind so strong that it bent back the trunks of the old oak, and heard a cry so terrible that he ran for his life. Questioning the locals revealed that this area was the nesting place of the elder griffin known as Dozmar, a beast much hated for its appetite both for chocobos and for children. Oof. Brutal. Wait. Why didn't that trigger the next? Why didn't that, like, continue the story or continue the quest? Yeah, I can't select any of these. I guess that's it. Okay. Well, let's get started on some of these, I suppose. Why does it say use the... Use the hunt. Maybe I gotta use the hunt board without talking to
How
him.
did we never hear?
Can I not do that? Kind of weird that the story won't continue. Why? Maybe I have to view the hunt board. I can't select anything. I guess maybe that's just the way it is. So near Lost Wing. Which I think it was over here somewhere, right? Yep. So it's near Caer Norvant or Caer something. Oh. The Norvent. Oh, this must be around here then, right? In this direction. Norvent Valley. Okay, so I guess let's go here and just kind of go in that direction. You're in the last dungeon of Final Fantasy II. Oh, nice. Yeah, you're slowly making your way through it.
Good day to you.
And then you can move on to Final Fantasy III. Good times, good times. We had a fun time with those Pixel remasters.
The crystals we get from the tailor all
Maybe it's time to go back to our Final Fantasy marathon. You know, after we do... I mean, when it comes to the Souls games, all we have to do is Demon Souls. Which, from what I hear, is one of the shorter ones. Oh, man. But, see, the reason I wanted to do all the Final Fantasy games before this game came out is because I feel like I can already feel it in my soul that it's going to be so hard to go back and play the Final Fantasy games that we didn't do for the marathon yet after playing this one, with how good this game looks and plays. Just thinking about going back to Final Fantasy X too just gives me the chills. God, I wish I finished that game.
Let's go.
Maybe if we finished 10-2 and 12, it wouldn't be as bad. Because 13 looks pretty good. 13 and up looks pretty good. And I suppose Final Fantasy 12 is not that bad looking, especially since we're playing the remaster. But it's kind of got that same dark theme, and it's themed around this kind of, Empire. Get the Imperials and all that. But it's kind of got the same theme as this game. Okay, let's see if I can find this bird. He's got to be around here somewhere. The Pixel remaster and the 3D remake, and then onto the fourth one, the 3D remake. Oh, is that how you're planning on doing it? You're planning on doing the Pixel remaster and then doing the 3D remake right after?
Griffins don't exactly make for easy prey. Let's hope our craftsman hasn't bitten off more than he can chew.
Well, I see him. I don't see him. Where is this bird? Is it over there? Oh, there he is. I didn't even see him up there. That's the plan. I thought about that, but I felt like I might just get burned out playing the same story again, even though it was like a 3D remake. But who knows? I mean, I wouldn't mind going back to it now.
The leatherworker will have to wait.
Whoa, that guy's level 28. Whoa, I have fire. Where's my... Where'd that fire... Oh, that must be from the Berserker ring. That's pretty cool. That we have that ability. Oh, we can finally try this one, Judgment Bolt. Okay, that was fun to do. Now let's get some HP back with our ability here.
Too slow.
Gotta say, I do like, I mean, that's such a nice touch that you would think that putting that ring on or any piece of gear would not have that significant of an impact, but it's got like its own, it's got its own animation. You know, that fire, you know, our sword becomes lit with fire. You got all that other cool stuff happening. It's just kind of interesting that that's even happened. See if I can do it again. Missed. It's like something you would have never expect the ring to do. Man, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, that's all this that's happening now with the fire. That's all because of a piece of gear that we put on.
Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Nice try.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we've faced off against somebody that's higher level than us. And he's a hunt, so I'm not surprised.
Not good.
Ooh,
That's better.
that was my mistake. And they limit how many potions that you can have. You're like limited to 3 potions and, oh no, 4 potions and 3 high potions. That's it. Can't carry any more with you. You don't have you know, it's not only for the fight. It's not like after the fight, like you have 99 in your bag or something, and then after the fight, you know, your potions get refilled. Nope. You have 3 to 4 potions, or, you know, 4 potions, 3 high potions, and that's pretty much it. And then after that, you have to go buy them. And this game also has fairies, which, you know, I'm getting unlucky with them. Ooh, that does 7,000 damage. It's a good thing we waited and saved our ability points to get that. That is brutal damage. The amount of games that have terrible camera angles with flying enemies. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. I feel like it's just hard to do, right? Or maybe they want you to be confused, right? And disoriented.
Is something there, boy?
But I've seen worse.
Could that be our man?
I mean, it's not that bad in this game. There have been people that have complained about the camera in this game not being as responsive as they would like. From what I hear, I think it's fine. Nothing's seemed unfair to me as of yet.
Are you all right?
Even the flying enemies.
Yeah. Dare say I'll survive.
Because before
that griffin caught me before I could get an arrow off. Must have lost sight of me in the grass, though. I'd be dead if it hadn't.
More likely than not.
The name's Camille. I'm a lowly leather worker, if you couldn't tell by the smell of me.
Not so lowly from what I hear. Do you remember selling to a merchant by the name of Karen?
She's not an easy woman to forget. Bought a cuirass from me after I lost my buyer. Quite taken with my work, as far as I recall. Didn't stop her bartering me down to a pittance, though. She sent you for a refund?
It's not her who sent me.
No, I think the camera's fine. That was just some article I was reading that some people were complaining about it being a tad bit too slow.
Consider me flattered.
You should be. He's a master of his art, and not an easy man to impress.
Blacksmiths are proud folk. It's a rare thing indeed for one to praise a glorified tanner. And I don't imagine an impressive swordsman like yourself would be getting your steel from any but the best. I'd dearly love to help a fellow craftsman, but... Well, actually, I suppose you could give him this.
What is it?
Treated leather. Same stuff I used to make that cuirass. If your man's as skilled as he sounds, he'll know what he's looking at.
You sure?
Well, you did save my life. And thanks to you, I'll be going home with all the griffin hide I can carry. I'd say it's the least I can do. Short of showing him how to make the thing myself, that is. But there are rules against it. Secrets of the trade and whatnot.
In that case, I'll see that he gets it.
I'd be much obliged if you would. Right. I've got some greaves to make. You send your blacksmith my regards.
Will do. And thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think the camera's pretty great.
Hopefully this will sweeten Blackthorn's mood.
Even for, like, flying enemies. I've noticed that with flying enemies, you know, when they're on the ground, it's whatever. It's like any other enemy. But, like, when they're in the air, I've noticed that the camera doesn't always follow them. There was a dragon that we fought where the camera did not follow the guy or the monster that flew. But if I remember correctly, I think before the enemy attacked, we automatically lock on to the enemy. And the game, it does seem like the game does give us some time to react. But I think all things considered, it's fine. You've seen a lot of bad reviews for this, and you don't know why. Man, people just review bombing it. I wouldn't pay them any mind. Yeah, the story is gripping, voice acting is great, combat looks smooth. Only annoying thing is the voice dialogue, where they don't read it all. Yeah, but that's, like I said, like I've mentioned, that's just a small... There are a couple things that are just small little nitpicks that
He's not
didn't
a
like.
monster. He's
Um,
Torgal.
No mini
And he'd
map.
take a liking to you
Every time I
too
want to
if you
open the
gave him
map,
his
I gotta
many-
pause the game. Even in Final Fantasy 12, you could open up a map and still walk around. So it's kind of annoying that I pretty much have to pause the game anytime I want a map.
Says
Second thing that annoys me, there is no dedicated sprint button. I mean, I was so annoyed. I was like, am I doing this wrong? I actually looked it up. I searched up the question. Like, is there a sprint button that I'm missing? No. Apparently, when Clive is able to sprint, usually in the open world, he'll do it after 5 seconds or something. And I'm just like, that's just L3. L3, I mean, I guess L3 is now used for something else. To summon our Chocobo. Or no, that's R3. L3 was for Animal Instinct, I guess. They could have assigned it to a different button. It's so annoying. I gotta wait for him to decide to start sprinting.
Find the geezer.
Bloody busybodies, the both of you.
But those are like minor nitpicks. Although the mini map is really annoying. That one's really annoying. The sprinting, I can let that slide.
How'd it go, Clive? Did you find him, or does the hunt continue?
I found him. And he asked me to give you this, along with his regards.
treated leather, a sample of supple hide dressed to the artisan Camille's exact standards. It has nary a trace of the barnyard musk of lesser leathers, instead smelling faintly of rose hips.
You're joking.
He said he wouldn't teach you how to work it, but that if you were as skilled as you sounded, you'd have no trouble understanding how it was done.
So that's his secret. Crafty bastard. He's layered and cross-grained it. Good few times, too. No wonder it's tough. And that's no ordinary oil he's used to get that finish. Oh, this is fine work. Even finer than I thought.
Yeah? I'll take your word for it. Just looks like leather to me. Still, I'm glad you're happy. Here, Clive. You didn't happen to catch the fella's name, did you?
Camille, I believe.
I thought as much. There ain't many leather workers in the realm daft enough to do their own hunting, see? And his name kept cropping up when I was asking around. Turns out he's from Tabor. And again, most leather workers are. But our friend Camille guards a long-held family secret, the details of which are the subject of some debate in the leather-working community.
Then we better keep this close to our chests.
Listen, sorry for putting the both of you to all that trouble. Should have kept my moaning to myself. Still, I'm glad you found him. This has cheered me right up.
That was the idea.
Well, hopefully you can make
Clive's
better
idea,
weapons
anyway.
for me.
He did most of the work.
It's good to have you back, Blackthorn.
Just don't expect me to go turning out work like this.
No.
There's a reason
Exactly what
he
I was
does his own
expecting.
hunting. He knows exactly what hides to look for. And that's how he gets them to layer up so nicely. And don't get me started on how much oiling this leather would need. But I reckon I can make something about as good. Something a Cursebreaker will have no trouble caring for. Anyway, enough narrowing. I've got work to be getting on with.
Cool. At least we can get some better gear. Hopefully,
Looks like
at
we
least.
won't be needing a new blacksmith.
As if there was a better one out there. Nah, it wouldn't have been the same anyway. No one spins a yarn like old Blackthorn in his cups. Right, now that's sorted, I've got duties to attend to. Thanks, Clive. You've given me my mate back.
Okay, these side quests are getting more involved and they are taking longer to do. Nice, nice. Level up. Drake Slayer's belt design draft. Necessary for crafting the Drake Slayer belt. Alright, nice. We got a new recipe for a belt, I guess. Good stuff, I suppose. Good stuff. Design drafts. You have obtained the design draft for the Drake Slayer's belt. Design drafts unlock new crafting options at the Black Hammer. Visit Blackthorn in the Hideaway for details on the material requirement. Let's have a quick chat
What do
with
you
him.
need? What's something for you, dear?
So let's see. Nothing that's an upgrade, at least. Oh, here's the draft. Oh, now that's way better. Electrum. Damn it, of course we don't have any. All this time we've taken to do side quests and kill mobs. Don't even have Electrum. That's a huge boost to defense. Gelatinous mass and a huge boost to defense. Damn, I want both of those.
Anything else?
I guess nothing for now. Well, let's save it. It's been a while. I don't think I saved it at all this whole stream. Thank God for those autosaves. You don't know why people are review bombing it? Well, I don't know. Just read some of the reviews. I mean, people, games, people liking games are subjective. So maybe they just really don't like it. I know there are some people that don't like it because it's not turn-based. I can understand that, but I think turn-based are done. They ain't coming back. Unless, the turn-based games only coming back with smaller games. Right? I really doubt they're going to spend, AAA kind of money on a turn-based RPG. If you want a turn-based RPG that's somewhat, pretty good and really detailed, Dragon Quest XI. It's great, and it's turn-based. And who knows, maybe with Dragon Quest 12, it'll be turn-based as well. So if you want turn-based and you like Square Enix, check out the Dragon Quest series. Can't go wrong, Square Enix making the RPG, Akira Toriyama, creator of Dragon Ball, doing the artwork. It's a great game. Even though we haven't finished it. Yeah, but Octopath Traveler is not a AAA game. I mean, I like the HD 2D kind of, I like the HD 2D style. But to compare that game to a game of this magnitude, I don't see them putting in that kind of money to making a turn-based. Right? And they tried their hardest to make, and they knew people would be pissed off. I mean, you remember when Final Fantasy VII Remake came out? The combat is, there was like an aspect in that combat system that was kind of turn-based. It tried to like meet people halfway. It was almost like they wanted to pull these people that wanted turn-based away from it. So they met them halfway to guide them into the action RPG. And I have a feeling that the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that's coming out next year is probably going to be more like this game in terms of combat than the first Final Fantasy VII Remake. So, for those of you that don't even want, I would say just try this game. The action RPG. If you played a previous, an action RPG from like Final Fantasy 15, for example, it's been a while since Final Fantasy 15 came out. They've refined the action RPG style. They hired, I think Platinum Games, creators of Bayonetta, to work on the combat. The combat director was also responsible for the Devil May Cry series. They've spent some time working on the combat system. It's not just mashing square. It might start off like that. And you might have to, and not even, there's still some abilities. It's just simple in the beginning. But things get more complicated as you go on. And trust me, you won't be mashing square the whole time. So, if that's your concern, it's not really an issue. Hey, you can head out, Fudge? Yeah, I was going to call it a night too. Yep, we did our 3-hour stream for tonight. I was actually only planning on doing 2 hours tonight. I was actually getting kind of tired. I don't know how we pushed through another hour. But, yep, I'm going to call it a night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same old, same old. If you want to know when I go live, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, join the Discord. All that same old good stuff. And, yep, like I said, I'll see you guys tomorrow with more Final Fantasy 16. And, we'll just keep continuing on with this. I'm not really burned out on it yet. I think mainly it's because we're not doing like we did with The Legend of Zelda, playing 6 to 7 hours. Got burned out really fast. I think mainly that was because we were staying up, or I was staying up way too damn late. going to sleep at like 4 or 5 a.m. Really doesn't help. But yeah, have a good night, everybody, or a good morning, and I'll see you later.